telling me to. Let me go
And
ahead.
it sounds like from what you're saying, I should have listened to the podcast, but I was
No.
damn, I don't know.
No. That podcast was really, really deep. If you wanted,
yeah, that's what I should have listened to it. Yeah. Just without like being on it, I should have listened.
I don't know who all was on that. Jerome.
Tony, the new guy. I hadn't seen him before.
Oh, okay.
Who else? It was 2 more people.
It was
a lot of people on there. Yeah.
Wait a minute, that wasn't last week, was it? No, that wasn't. No.
A couple weeks. Yeah, it was a couple weeks, about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
No, that was with voting. It was. It had what's the name on it? Marvin's wife and.
Oh yeah, Marvin's wife and.
I forgot who else. I think it was just a lot of information that she was giving. I think Willa was on that one too.
Yeah. So, was it a good podcast? Did it help people? Because I really do feel like a lot of so-called Black people like just don't vote. Did it make them understand why they need to like go vote? Because my interpretation of voting is that it really didn't mean anything because there's a certain group of people, and I can't remember the class of the people, that they determined who the president was going to be, no matter what your vote was.
That'd be your electoral college.
Yes. Yeah. Something like that, bro.
Yeah.
I think just while we're talking about voting, the most important part of voting is not really on the federal side. It's really more on the local side. It's who affects your life every day. You know, going out and vote for your county commissioner, vote your sheriff, your school board members, you know, the things that are going to affect you every day. So that's what you can vote for. Because, you know, that on the federal level, you know, anything could happen.
Real talk, bro. Real talk. And I've never voted, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but I've never made any kind of vote in my life, bro.
Don't be embarrassed.
Never. Yeah.
Don't be embarrassed.
And I'll be 51, and I'll be 51 Sunday. I've never voted for any person on anything, man. Yeah. And especially now that I know how things are set up, I'm truly like, shit, it ain't gonna matter because all of them got puppet masters, Clayton. You can vote for who you want to, but they're gonna realize, let's say that Obama was really sincere when he was running for president, he got into office. I really think that there's a group of people that's like, okay, bro, here's this book that you need to pay attention to. And if you don't, there are going to be consequences. You can come in here with all that. Let's make this right and equal. But here is the guideline that you need to follow. And if you don't, there are consequences. That's what I truly feel like what's going on with the puppet masters, man.
Hey, you're not wrong on it. You're not wrong on it. But it's interesting.
Yeah.
If we got time, we can jump in and go ahead and start off, Jerome. We live.
Are we live? Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another presentation of the Three-Headed Monster. We're live on Facebook. We have a special guest, Mr. Clayton Holmes, former Dallas Cowboy, 3-time world champion. I get all that beat, but
keep bringing it up, man.
And but our subject today is going to be relationships. It's one of the 3 sciences that that we don't learn as a people, that is not taught as a people. The science of business, the science of relationship, and the science of military science. Clayton's video went out. But again, everything we talk about is just our opinions. So believe nothing that we say. Take everything that you hear, research it for yourself, come back, let's discuss it, and let's build upon that which you have found is true. So we're going to get into it. And we'll let Clayton introduce himself in a minute. What's up, B?
Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Jerome's Day. It's a program that Jerome wants to get out. It's in them, and that we just is phase one. Who knows how many phases we're gonna have? But again, we live. I appreciate being on with my brothers. Another Three-Headed Monster podcast. Brother Tut would be on a little bit later. And we hear the bill. And I guess relationships is something that we all need to hear, especially in our community, because for some reason relationships is the paradigm. This is it's crazy. It's crazy. So let's build. What's going on, Mr. Clayton Holmes? Clayton, I am still a Eagles fan. Just wanted to speak to you. I'm gonna say this though. I wasn't an Eagles fan when you was playing. I was a Raiders fan at that time. I turned into an Eagles fan in '09. So just want to clarify that. You was already done by then. Oh, I think you was. So
Brother,
what's going on, Mr. Holmes? What's up, Clayton?
Those were highlights of my life, to play in the Coliseum where the Raiders played, and play in Pittsburgh's home stadium. Those were highlights of my life. But you caught my attention when you said relationships. So when you say relationships, are you just talking about like male and female? Or are you talking about relationships between like all of us? When you say relationships.
Yeah, when I say relationships, it is plural. I'm talking about relationships between you and your partner, relationships between you and your community, relationships between you and your family, relationships between you and the earth, relationships between everything that is around you. You know, we have to have an understanding of how to relate with everything that's about us. Yeah.
Word, bro.
Even with nature.
That's beautiful.
Even your relationship with nature.
That's beautiful.
That's right.
So this is going to be a beautiful discussion then when it comes to relationships, because when you think about relationships, I don't care what it's with, you need to think about developing a relationship with yourself first.
Right.
And wanting whatever relationship that you want to vibe with you. Like, okay, what's your relationship with yourself first?
Right.
And then whatever your relationship is with yourself, that's what you're going to get from the universe, from somebody else. You got to love yourself first. You got to treat yourself with respect first before you expect that from someone else. A lot of people, like, they just want someone to hug them and they just cry and make me feel good. It's like, that's not a relationship. It's like, no, you need to, you shouldn't need me to make you feel good. I should just compliment your feel good.
Exactly.
And that's what I have figured out what relationships about. Most people are in relationships because they're missing something and somebody else is giving it to them.
Right.
Like their insecurities. And it's like, oh yeah, there's my baby. She's gonna support me. It's like, yeah. So that's what I see most relationships are. And the most important relationship is to be with yourself. And most religious people take this as, what's the word I'm looking for? Sacrilegious. When I say you should love yourself first, they take that as, no, God is like, no, you're missing the point. You need to care about yourself first, like you want somebody else to care about you. And then watch what happens. Watch the reaction that you get. But again, most relationships, I feel like, at least I was in, because I was missing something. And I was expecting that other person to give it to me.
Right.
And then when they flipped on me or you know, had their little moments, then I go back into my little shell of feeling sorry for myself and, oh, I'm no good in that. And that's not relationships to me. So my thing is, man, I haven't been in a relationship for years because the last relationship I was in, it really broke my heart. There's nothing like someone cheating on you and then you being a cheater and not realizing how hurtful that is. And then it happens to you. And bro, when it happened to me, I said to myself, man, I said, I am never in my life going to do that to anybody again. I swear, that's a terrible feeling, bro.
Right,
It is absolutely, it's a terrible feeling.
right.
But I took it, man. It's like, damn. And then I immediately like, whoa, bro, you ain't no saint. Like, you just didn't get caught. This is like, wow, this shit is terrible. So yeah, bro. Hey, man, that's just where I'm at, man. That's just where I'm at, bro. I'm never gonna do that to another woman again. I'm just gonna be straight up and honest. Before I do it, I'm gonna let her know. Before I do it, because that's a terrible feeling when you catch it, when you get caught, bro, or you realize that they're doing that to you. But it's a terrible feeling, but at the same time, you'll realize, and here's more pain, that you brought that on yourself. Because honestly, you knew, or you're not really doing anything different. It's all about who's catching who, and you get people yelling at each other and mad, and then they're like, oh, he don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing the same shit he doing, but I caught his ass, so I'm gonna yell at him. So we all just kind of yelling at each other, but doing the same shit that we doing to each other, bro.
Right.
So yeah. So that's how it's working. That's how I see it. That's how it's been working out for me. And the professional people that I played with. So I know what's up. I know what's up, bro.
I think too, what you're saying is like, you said it hurt when it happened to you, but you was doing the same thing. Well, that tells me that you wasn't honest with yourself. You know, before you wasn't honest with that other person. You was never honest with yourself about what you truly wanted, what you truly needed. You know, and so you couldn't communicate what you needed to the person that you're with. So that's why you went outside of the relationship that you was in. I want to get back to something you said in the beginning. You said people look for something from people to be happy. A lot of times we confuse love with reciprocation. We would think that reciprocation is love. If I do something for you, you should do something for me. And that's not love. That's reciprocation. That's why when that reaction that you don't get doesn't happen, that's why you feel the way you do. Because it wasn't for love, it was for reciprocation.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? You wanted to feel good because you done something good. You see what I'm saying? And so that's because we hadn't been taught what relationship is. We hadn't been taught, because if you totally love yourself, then if you do something for somebody, it doesn't matter if it comes back or not, because you feel yourself with love, and you love yourself enough to be balanced. And then you don't need somebody outside of you to balance you. You see?
Bro. Yeah, bro. Hey, imagine if you was like, when do guys hit their sexual peak? Like around 13, 14, when you start seeing sperm from an orgasm, whatever age that is. Imagine if you had a father that said to you, hey, you have the ability to create life, and you don't want any woman to have this. Now, you're going to be tempted, but trust me, son, you don't want any woman to have this. This is special. And there's protection. There's things called rubbers. But when you have sex with that special woman, you don't want to be doing that thing called pulling out. You are about to create life. And that's what you need to understand about sex. So I think about things like that. Me being the person that I am, and my daddy saying that to me, and I'm just like, man, please, man. My dad already explained to me what sex is. I ain't just supposed to be out here just doing it. Now, even if I do, and my dad says to me, hey, son, there ain't nothing wrong with it if you want to do it. But if you do it, there are ways to protect yourself, because there are diseases, and having a child is special. So there are ways to protect from that. But the righteous way is to not use any of that, and to find the person. And for men, this is where we make the most mistakes at, and this is where I feel like a lot of women are going to get upset with me right now. When you ask a man to be with one woman, you are asking him to do something out of his character, because that's just not us as males. Now, that's not to say that we're not going to meet a female that's going to make us say, hey, I don't want nothing else. I'm not saying that that's not impossible, but the bigger picture, bruh, that's just not how we are made. We are built to, if we see something that's attracting to us, and I'm not just talking about anything, I'm talking about something that we want to take care of, and we have the means to do it, then there's nothing wrong with doing that. And I'm not saying that we're animals, but if you look at the animal kingdom, that's how things work. So we as men are trying to hide it, and so we're sneaking around. Like, we're trying to hide that, damn, she got the same characteristics as my girl, my wife. I like the same thing. So now I got to turn my head like this shit don't exist. Now, you should be strong enough to do that. But all I'm saying is we are fighting a natural instinct, men. And that's real talk, man. Every man knows what I am talking about right now, but at the same time, that does not mean you have to be disrespectful, but it also means that you need to respect yourself. There are women out there, especially when you be yourself and you just be upfront and honest. Be like, hey, this is just who I am, man. You know, I love this type of beauty or that, or if a woman has this, and you just be open and honest. And not all this lying to each other that we do, especially men. And again, I say all of this saying that I honestly feel like that there are women out there that can satisfy one man, but that is absolutely unique. And I'm sorry, fellas, I'm sorry, women, for putting it like this. But again, this is my experience from me and being in the professional field and talking to guys about this. I've actually asked guys, I'm like, damn, dude, why you cheating on your wife, man? And one answer that I got from somebody that's highly respectable, he said to me, he don't want to turn his wife around and smack on the ass and just have a good time. He want to make love to her. I mean, he honestly said that to me and it resonated to me. So I'm like, damn, bro, like, I feel that. So this conversation is just real to me. I really want people to understand why they're doing what they're doing, especially men, when it comes to so-called cheating. You just need to be honest, man. You just need to be honest. You're fighting what you naturally are. And especially if you believe in the Bible. How many wives did the men in the Old Testament have? How many babies did they have? And the Muslims right now that have more than one wife, there ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Y'all wasn't expecting to hear this shit from me, but this is just real talk, bro. We're fighting who we are as men. So when it comes to relationships, again, you be honest. You be upfront. You just be honest, man, and stop sneaking around, stop bullshitting and be honest. And even though you're honest, there's going to be consequences, but you're going to feel better about yourself. And if there is that female out there, and for females, I don't think it's that difficult for them to find that male that gives them everything they need. But for the male, bro, you're fighting a hard battle, trying to be faithful to one woman. And again, not saying that it can't be done, and a lot of you guys are doing it. I know guys that have done it, but you're fighting a difficult battle, and it's not your fault. You're fighting instincts. You're not just supposed to be with one woman. Not saying that you can't have just one, but you're not built to be with one woman. Your mind and the attractions are too powerful.
I get what you're saying. I feel you. Man, I'm writing down notes as you're talking because you went all over the place with that one. Not saying that, but I understand what it is that you're saying. I know one thing that you did say is the most important thing about when it comes to the relationship, and I'm just giving you my opinion. You have to have a relationship with yourself.
Word.
Because if you don't have a relationship with yourself, and when I mean yourself, I mean you have to touch within your inner self, which is your subconscious. Once you get on that level of, that's when you really know yourself. That's when you really, really get involved with understanding who you are. A lot of us needs to sometimes look in the mirror and be like, who the hell is that I'm looking at? Because is that you, which is your conscious, or is that your subconscious telling you to look at yourself and see the, so that's, I mean, we can get deep into that.
That's
I
real
really
talk,
don't want
B.
to jump into that right there because we'd probably be on here for another 3 to 4 hours.
Hey,
But
that's why we here. That's real talk, B. That's
but
real
if,
talk, bro.
but we'll lose a lot of people because a lot of people don't understand that relationship within the inner man. We look at it. We look for we give that energy to another identity, a deity, and that which is religion versus putting that God that's inside of you and let that between that comes out. Another thing that you kind of said something about it is because what's happening is if you don't find a relationship within you, you lose yourself within that relationship that you are with. And I wish I had some females to come on because I want to get a woman's perspective on this. I would love to get a woman's perspective on this.
Me too.
This,
Yeah.
I mean, I know we only giving a one-sided story, but I'm trying to be as honest as possible from experience that I have. But back to you will lose yourself if you don't love you, have a relationship within you. You loses yourself within the relationship and become a slave, not even knowing that you are, because you end up following somebody, and then you end up, in a sense, you worshiping another person, but not putting yourself first. And then that's where the confusion comes. This when you come to falling depression, you don't love you, and then your energy is drained. Your energy is gone. So you got a bunch of because you might have got with somebody that guy that walks around with bad energy. See, that's something that we don't pay attention to, and that's something that what we need to understand is who you having kids with. Understanding that's an attachment that you that's a life attachment. Period. When you having unprotected sex, you're joining with somebody's energy and not saying that the energy is good or bad. That any person energy might be good and your energy is bad. But you're connecting energy. It's like saying two stars come together. One star dies, the other star stays afloat. So you never know. That's why when it comes to attraction, the laws of attraction, you like what you like. But once you find that one, it's a wrap. So what
Yep.
happens is, like you said, we are searching for a replacement of something because we end up losing. If we lose something within ourselves, we try to find something else to replace it. It can be relationships, it can be drugs, it can be alcohol, it can be any other thing. We're trying to fill something that we lost within ourselves. That's why I say you have to have a relationship within yourself because you understand what you are and who you are. So you don't have to go look, they come to you. Because what happens is your brightness, your energy, you become a shining star and everybody comes to you. That's the difference between knowing who you are and knowing who you're not. Or you start chasing when people come to you. So that's just my opinion.
I
But,
feel it.
but go ahead,
I
Now,
Ron.
feel it.
Go
now,
ahead,
I
Ron.
feel it. I feel it.
now, I feel you 110%. Loss of identity, never having identity. It's hard to love somebody you don't know. So with loving yourself, and not knowing who you truly are, the first person that you ever begin to lie to is yourself. And so before you lie to somebody, you lie to yourself about who you are, what you truly want, what you truly need. Anytime that you settle for something in life, then you're lying to yourself about what it is that you need. You're lying to yourself about what it is that you want. And so when you begin any relationship with distrust, or most time we distrust ourselves, you know, and the lack that's inside of us we lie about. and the hurt that's inside of us, we lie about, because we want somebody else to feel that for us. So we'll say that we're fine. And that joining of energy that you're talking about, that's most of the time we have a lack of energy, and we want to suck somebody else's energy to make us feel better.
And that's fact.
To bring us up.
Facts, bro.
So that's why we have to find balance within ourselves. And that's one of the things I really truly enjoy about Clayton. I can tell that it may be later in life, but he's found himself, and he's found he can be happy with him, regardless to what him is. he's happy with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we all have to find that peace. We all have to find that being happy with who we are. Even if when you look in the mirror, you see something incomplete. Be happy with it. Love
That's
it.
What's up, bro. That's what's up.
That's the only way to find a true relationship, because you can never be perfect, right? So you're always this imperfect thing. So you have to learn to love that imperfectness about yourself. And when you're happy with it, nobody else can hurt you outside of you. How can they hurt you when you're already happy with who you truly are? What can you say about me? Because everything you say about me, I already love.
And not only that, bro, I hate to interrupt you, but I'm going to give you the mic back. You're not only happy, but you're in the process of working on yourself.
Of course.
Like, it's like I'm aware. And this is a process
of course.
Of changing myself, of relearning, of thinking a new way. And that's what I've been doing, bro, since I've got done with football in 1997. It's really like, damn, Clayton, you need to look at yourself before you start pointing the thing at your mama, your daddy, your brother, your girlfriend, your ex-wife, all of that, bro. And then doing that helped me realize that, damn, I am them. They went through something similar that I went through. It may be a little different, but everybody just needs to focus on themselves first. And that's what this whole thing about life has been about for me, my brother, and relationships. It's just focusing on myself, because even in a relationship, whatever I'm getting mad at her about, I guarantee you, Clayton, if you think hard enough or look back far enough, you did the same thing that you're mad at her about. Let's just think about it. And then I've had these aha moments. It's like, damn, this is crazy for us to be fussing and yelling at each other, because nobody is, when I say nobody, I don't actually mean nobody. There are some special people that really are in relationships and they treat them with respect. But for the most part, man, everybody's yelling at somebody for something that they've done to somebody else. And that's the whole big picture of what I'm seeing. And it's just about loving myself, respecting myself. And then when you get into that field, you're going to attract the person that you need. And you're going to attract all kinds of people, but you're going to see that, damn, yeah, she got a nice ass, or she got some things that I like, but this ain't the relationship that I need to be in. And you're going to be like, nope, that ain't it. I'm not going to go with that. So you're going to attract, like, okay, you know exactly what you need. You don't need that right there, because you know where that's going to go. And that's where I'm at, my brother. I know certain things that will attract me, but I'm like, okay, the big picture, the big picture. Yeah, this is going to get tiring in like a month or two or a year. So yeah, bro, this is just about just being real with yourself, man, and working on yourself, loving yourself, and not expecting someone to give you what you're missing. And when you get to that point, what you're going to attract to you, I mean, the real that you're going to pick out from all the attractions is like, yep, that's that person right there that's going to love me like I'm loving myself. She's going to give me that respect that I'm giving to myself right there. That's where I can feel it just from talking to her. So that's just where I'm at right now, bro.
This is an analogy that I'm gonna throw out there that everybody should know. The Matrix. And when you understanding Neo and how he was as life, scared. Once he found out who he was, look what happens when he became when he when he connected. Thinking how he treated his woman with the highmost respect. He treated everybody with love. And that's the thing that we're missing within self is that peace. Once you find that peace, the ability and connect with that inner self, everybody have to understand he connects with his inner self. And he generated that energy and that power to be you become superhuman because everything that you touch is everything that you do, you're doing it out of love. And when you're doing everything out of love, you're putting out the positive energy, which you put in out the positive vibrations that it attracts everybody to you. Because you watch it in every movie, everybody's drawn to him so much that he's kind of like, can I get a break? Can I just get a break? Because his energy is just radiating, it's just drawing people in. So once you find that inner self and you connect with it, that's the perfect example, man. Anybody, if you really look at that movie has so many different segments in it that you just got to sit back and be like, okay, I see what this is. Because you really can't get the true meaning of the movie because the movie is just that deep.
It's magical, bro. And what you said is magical. That's just absolutely magical. And that's why I truly love being on, I'm saying on podcasts, but these videos with you guys, except one that we had about the flat earth. But other than that, bro.
we still need to, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
Even before you guys invited me on the podcast, man, I've always just been intrigued because there's just realness coming from you guys. And that's what this is all about. And I love the introduction. This is not about, okay, we're saying that we're right. We would like you to like investigate and just to like use your common senses about what we're talking about. And that's the vibe that's happening right now. And that's why I love it, B. That's why I love it, man. We just keep it real, man. Even if it's going to get people angry and upset, you just keep it real and try to keep your patience and explain to them, especially if you used to believe like they believe and you don't anymore. Just getting them to be like, okay, I know where they're at because I was there. Let me stay calm and just keep pushing this love and peace and understanding and just like research. And that's where I'm at now, bro. I've gotten so much better with dealing with people. Now, I still may have a little, I hate using this word, I still may have a little ignorant outburst every now and then. So much better.
We all do, man.
Yeah, at just understanding where this person is. Because like, damn, Clayton, you was right there. They just don't want to research. They don't want to look into it because if they do, this is going to be like it's going to be like, holy shit. Like, damn, I used to believe this shit. And people don't want to go to that place where what they believe in is like really challenging. And then there's proof to prove it. So what they do is take a stand, man, you stupid ass motherfucker, man, fuck you. Nah, what about this? And it's just like, yeah. And that's what I'm starting to feel more and more, B. It's just like, yeah, don't take this personal, Clayton. Just understand where they are and just help them see what it is that you're trying to do. And if they don't, just realize that you planted a seed. And that is what's going to happen with the majority of people. You're going to have to plant a seed. And then things are going to happen in their life where they're going to be like, damn, like, oh shit, I remember when the dude Clayton was talking about this shit. It's like, what? Like, fuck. So it's like, wow. So that's the power of like, not forgetting the power of planting a seed and not getting caught up in arguing with people about things. Just, especially if it's somebody that's searching and looking and it's a deep cognitive dissonance that you touched, something like God or the globe or our government responsible for 9/11, anything like that. You have to realize that, damn, ain't too many people gonna go, damn, Clayton, well, thank you. I didn't know that. It's like, wow, I'm just so happy you told me that truth. So I just got to realize that people, this is going to take some shit some time for it to sink in the things that we talk about. For instance, like this topic. Like, for instance, there's probably a lady right now listening to this, be like, that nigga just said all men cheat. Nigga, I know you got a girlfriend somewhere. It's just in your nature. Just something like that. just just that kind of thing, bro. And she may be absolutely right. But because she ain't got no information, we gonna do what we always do. The hell you talking about? What you, and again, this is all us fighting our human nature. And I just want to say to you men, especially you men that are not really committed in a relationship, hey man, stop not being real to yourself. I swear if you be honest with these women and let them know who you are, you're going to be much better. And you may lose one or two, but just be honest with yourself. Be honest with her and just say, hey, this is just who I am. I can't help it. I can't sit here and lie and say, I can't see a woman with the same characteristics as my wife and I'm gonna act like she ain't there. And especially if she noticed me and she start making, and she feels the attraction and then she starts making progress. So I'm just supposed to act like it ain't there? No, this is a feeling that I can't fight. But yeah, but if I'm a man, I can acknowledge that, and a lot of men do. I'm not saying that a lot of men fall prey to this. A lot of men are like, damn, they're fine, but man, I got a wife, girl. I got a girlfriend. They really fight it. They really do. But the majority of dudes, like, let me holler with you later, man. Where's my girl right there? Like, yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, that is just a male's human nature, and I am truly here to say that there is absolutely nothing wrong with that, but you got to be honest about who you are. You got to be honest about it. And if she don't accept it, then so be it. But I swear, if you sincere, she gonna be like, damn, that's real cool. Like, well, okay, well, I hope we can work this out. There are women out there that understand it, bro. There are women out there that understand it. Just be real to yourself and understand that the reason why you are so infatuated with so many women is because when we were born, we didn't have that father to say, that father that was married to a woman that he loved and be like, hey son, let me tell you about sex. Let me tell you about women. You want to find a woman like your mama right there. And you don't want, you got, son, your penis, you have babies with that. What comes out of you creates babies. Now imagine being 12 or 13 years old and you got a father that you respect telling you that. You're going to be sitting there like, damn, yeah, daddy. Yeah, I don't want any woman to have this. Nah, this is special. My dick, my penis is special. And she's going to be a special woman that get it. And it may be more than one or two, but she's going to be special. It ain't just going to be anybody. And I'm for real. If my mom and dad would have had a conversation like that with me, that's exactly how I would have been, bro. That's exactly how I would have been, especially if I would have seen my daddy and my mama together, like loving each other, hugging each other, together with each other. I would have been like, shit, yep, that's what I want right there. But I love my dad.
Let me ask you this, Clayton. Now I understand human nature and I understand how we're wired, but do you have to act on every impulse?
Right, you don't, bro. And that is the powerful thing. You don't have to act on it, and that and it helps when you have somebody teaching you that, hey,
right,
man, when you hit 16, you're gonna want to have, especially I can't imagine being in high school right now with the way that girls dress. When I was in high school, if you wore shorts, if it didn't come past your knees, my principal sent your ass home. Now they got girls walking around in school with these tights on, the titties all out. And what you think these guys thinking about at 16, 17 years old? Sex, man.
Right.
It's a hormone thing.
Yeah.
It's a hormone thing. Because, I mean, you have to look at it. When you see animals, when animals going through their hormone stage, what do? They fight.
They go crazy.
Bro.
They go crazy. So it's something that we do. But at the same time, just in general, you said something, and maybe Drum said it. When you lose your identity,
Yeah.
and when I'm saying this, I'm saying this as the community. When you lose your identity, which we have no foundation. So you constantly like walking on the beach, you constantly just walking in sand. You can't run in sand. You know how hard it is to run in sand? And that's something that we're struggling with to this day.
I
That's
hate to
how
interrupt you, but I'm sorry for interrupting, but especially when we come from a people that they've made you had sex with your mother. That's why I hate using the word motherfucker.
I
Because
understand. True,
yeah,
and I agree.
so yeah, bro. So, yeah, so I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But no. But it comes to a point is we tend to gravitate to something that we saying that's a part of us. We'll run to religion. We'll become a part of a gang because we still trying to find out who we are as a group of people. Now,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I know with me and Jerome and how we think, a lot of people don't think the way me and Jerome think because, you know, we people are who they are. You believe in what you believe in. I don't knock people what they believe in. But when you don't have an identity, everything unravels and you're in chaos because you're searching, but you don't even know what you're searching for.
Mm.
You know, you're angry, but you don't even know what you're angry for because you don't know where you're coming from, or you don't even know what stock that you're a part of. Now, I know I identify myself as indigenous. I know Jerome, identifies himself as indigenous. So all of a sudden now we have a foundation to grow from. See what I'm saying? A lot of people still saying that, we all came in on a slave ship. Why? But
Exactly.
but to understand that part of our that is our DNA. Yes, we are from the mother planet, from the mother continent. My bad,
Oh
continent,
shit.
planet. But hell, you might as well say it's a planet because everything is there. But what I'm saying is when you lose your identity, you lose everything about you. You actually lose your self worth, and that's something that we have to find. And that's where as a people, understand what I'm saying is, as a people, we don't have an identification of who we are.
Damn.
We consider ourselves as African American, has no nothing. We consider ourselves black. Trust me, look into the Black Law Dictionary. Black means nothing. Actually, the way black is that, all right, we keep there. We consider ourselves Negro, or we consider ourselves everything other than who we are. I go ahead and say we are the true Native Indians here. But a lot of people don't want to hear that because where did you find that at? You want to attack that, but you don't attack Christianity. You don't ask where that comes from. Me and Jerome already did that. Actually, we might need to do another one, breaking it down, the beginning of Christianity when it comes to the Council of Nicaea. A lot of people never heard of that, but if you trust me, if you do, you probably put that book down. But that's a whole different story. But that's something that we need within ourselves is to understand who we are. That's why I said you have to love yourself first. Period. If that starts off wrong, well, you're in the world of hurt because you're searching for other people. You're searching for somebody to fill a void. Us as a community, we're trying to fill a void that's been going on. I can't even, I listened to somebody said something. Isaiah Thomas, which was kind of crazy. He said something. We was here before 1492.
Right.
Our history started way before 1492. They didn't know nothing about us until 1492. And when I say them, I'm saying the European, the Spanish Inquisition, all that craziness. So when it comes to relationships, that's why we as a community have mistrust. When the slavery situation hurts us tremendously because you lost your you lost yourself even more because you lose your tongue. So
Mm,
communication,
mm,
which is the important thing when it comes to dealing with somebody else. If
mm.
you can't communicate with one another, well, then you lost. You end up just being whatever. So
Let, let me
go ahead,
jump in there, big.
go ahead, because I know I'm
Because,
going. Go ahead, go
Woo! You
ahead.
own it, B.
because you was talking about, well, we was talking about lost identity, right? And
Yeah,
I want to get something to what Clayton was talking about. If he had a father or a mother to tell him certain things at a certain age, because we have this lack of identity, we feel it with every outside thing. Just think about all these kids that are over sexualized by the music that they listen to, over sexualized by what they see on TV, over sexualized by what they talk about in high school. I mean, so hormones mixed with this information of being over sexualized creates this animal, creates
Mm.
this being that doesn't care about relationship because it has no understanding of what relationship is. Um, I think from a standpoint of what you were saying, how we were wired to be with a different number of women, I understand that, and I understand it from the standpoint of if we were animals, population of the earth. But once a population reaches a certain plateau, then you don't have to populate as heavily as you did. So that should be reasoning and understanding. That's when the controlling of the urges. But like I said, if you listen to music, you listen to the culture around you, it over sexualizes everything. And so you don't have any true understanding of who you are. You don't have any true understanding of what a relationship with somebody else is, whether it be monogamous or whatever you choose it to be, um, because you have so many outside influences telling you what you are, and so many outside influences telling you how to live your life. And so I agree with you. We need more stable information coming into our lives at an earlier age. That's how I see it, Clay.
Hey, bro, and that's why I like talking to you guys, because when I'm talking like this, I love going off the cuff and just sharing information, and then I listen to you guys share your information, and then you shed light on what it is that I'm trying to say. So that was just beautiful, bro. Absolutely beautiful what you explained about like what a person goes through, and they're not taught about. Okay, you're going to reach this point where your sexual drive is going to pick up. Now,
Right.
if you got influences around you that are influencing you to do these things, and like, my God, bro, like I said, man. Now, again, I don't hold no punches. The most popular thing for me was like the Sears and Roebuck catalog book. But now they got like all this porno. They can
Yeah.
type up stuff. So, bruh, it's just like
Yeah.
scary. And I'm just like, damn, I'm glad there wasn't no internet when I
There
came
you
up. Because
Oh
this shit
yeah.
is just so confusing, especially when you ain't got nobody teaching you about what you're about to go through and these hormones that you're about to experience and how to control them. So, bruh, that's why I love having these conversations with you guys, because again, I can just be as real as I feel, and I know you guys are going to come as real as you are, and especially with my mind being as open as it is, and this is, I feel like, for lack of a better word, my power over people when I'm talking about things that they may not believe in or think that I'm crazy about. My power is I truly know how to say I'm wrong, or damn, my bad, my apology, especially when you give me like information to what it is that I'm talking about. And that's what I need people to understand about me when I talk about things that you like, man, this nigga crazy. I'm like, what? You need to understand that as soon, and you need to understand too that I'm 51 years old and I used to believe like you believed. So whatever it is that I'm talking about, whether against, whether it's religion, the earth being flat, our government's responsible for 9/11, the pandemic is planned. You have to understand that I used to believe like you. And now I don't, because I'm truly like a soul searcher. I'm a truth seeker. And whenever I get the truth, I don't care how strong I may appear to be in front of somebody, but as soon as they give me something that's like fact, you might even see a tear come from my eye, because that's all I'm looking for is like the truth, because that leads me to like, it leads me home to like what's really like happening. So that's why, again, bro, that's the vibe that I get from you guys, you two guys that I'm speaking with now. Whenever I'm talking, and even you, B, even if I confuse you, you even let me know. You're like, damn, like, well, I don't kind of feel that, but you know, I even feel when I say something that too fast, or I say a lot of stuff, I can feel that from you, and I respect that. But I can sense that, damn, this brother's listening. He's trying to find like a common balance. It's like he's truly trying to build. And that's what I am all about, B. And anytime anybody hearing me, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build. I'm not trying to repeat what I was taught, especially when I know that they indoctrinated me, when they were really trying to not get me to be where I am now, like thinking clearly and questioning things. Right. So that's where I'm at right now, B. And that's why I enjoy the conversations that I have with you guys, man. Like, again, you put me out, you didn't put me on the spot, but you said some things that make me go, damn, Clayton, you ain't thinking about that. And that's all I want, bro. That's it. Because I'm simply searching for the truth.
You gotta understand, I'm a father of 6.
Woo, that's what's up.
I'm a proud father of 6, and I got 2 grandchildren that are, you know, that's my blood, that's my life, and I love my kids. And I had with 4 different women. So you tend to understand in that it's a lot of mistakes that I made, a lot of mistakes I made as a father. But the thing that you said about it is admitting that you messed up. A lot of us is so prideful that we can't say,
Word.
My bad, I'm sorry, I messed up. I messed up. But that's something that where you start finding that peace within yourself. Because what happened is it's something that you know, sometimes you have the tendency to try to do good, but you just don't know how to say it because you haven't because you got this energy, you got this information, you want to get it out. Some people take it the wrong way because of the way you approach it. You know what I'm saying? So as you grow, because Jerome it's just me. Where was I at 5 years ago, Jerome, to where I'm at now? You know what I'm saying?
World of difference.
You know, so it's a journey. It's kind of like you're going to school. You start over because you say you research. That's something that people don't do. They research is you know, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, or CPAP or whatever that is. Nobody studies or learn anything on their own. I started reading, and what happened is Jerome was like, "Yo, check this book out." I'm like, "Just tell me." That's a problem with a lot of people is you want people to tell you versus go and research it for yourself. Because when I come out with information, people be asking me, where you get this from? What book you get this from, or where you get this from? They want to contradict it because it's something that they never heard before. And it's something that their ego is not allowing them. Oh, let the dog bark, dude. That's nature. Let it bark. But what I'm saying is a lot of people ego, their outer man stops the inner man from receiving information. And that's something that we have to stop and understand. We have to let our inner man listen to your conscience. Your conscience is your inner man. Your conscience is your inner man. You know when you're gonna do something, and your conscience like don't do it. You be like, man, I'm doing it anyway.
Oh shit.
Fighting, and that's the thing about it. When I tell people you got to look in the mirror, is you're fighting you. You are your worst enemy, and your downfall it will be because you tripped over yourself. And we as a people have the tendency to need to stop and start listening, because we're all I hear now is, dude, I'm telling you, man, I'm getting to the point is I'm tired of TV. I trust me, I've been watching The Matrix. I don't know why. I just keep watching it. I learn something new every time I watch it. But the news and the way, say for instance, this whole voting thing, look how crazy it's getting. Look, look how damaging it does. Like if we're the most important, and yes, we're more than 13%. I don't know why in the hell we got a low number. We're only 13% population in this country when we was here before they came here.
Yeah, all lies. All lies.
How? Somebody explain the hell, how is that we're 13%? I know we're going off subject. That's what I love about this. We go off subject. How the hell we become 13% when we was 100% when you came here?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
But see, here's the thing. It's not just that we're 13%. We've been 13% for the last 150 years. But they claim we having all these babies, and we claim we're out of wedlock having these kids. How we staying at 13% for 150 years?
Yeah, bro. We are the majority, bro. And you know why? Because we were truly the first people on this earth. And what people don't understand is that it is impossible for two so-called white people to have a so-called black person. If anything, and I'm not saying that white people came from us, but I do know that albinos came from us, and this earth is millions of years old. So if you look at a melanated person mating with an albino person, you start seeing all of the colors that can be made. But my point is, it is impossible for two white people to be born in Africa, butt naked with no sunscreen, and we all come from them. And that's what the majority of the people think, bro.
No sunscreen.
Yeah, bro. and then I tell them, it's like, oh, the colors happen because some of us moved away from the equator.
Which
I'm
is
just like,
true.
okay. Yeah, it's like, okay.
And your food.
Yeah. Yeah.
But go ahead. I know Jerome got something. Jerome got it. It's on his tongue.
If you moved away from the equator, who had to be at the equator first? Yeah.
It is true, but it's not just the equator, because there's a lot of Eskimos that are darker than we are.
Yeah,
dude,
bro.
You got me on that one. All right, that went away. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. We are the original people on this planet, and it's amazing how they have whitewashed this and got. I'm amazed at how they did it, bro. Yeah. I'm like truly amazed at how they flipped the whole strip, bro.
But a lot of it, like I said, I always look at it in this standpoint. When you control information, like if you have a child, no matter how much information you have, if I can separate that child from you, the child has no information at all. So whoever teaches that child gives it its information. So that's one generation. You can remove all history.
Damn.
So that's what they've done to us. They cut off our source of information. The problem is this is the age of information. So now we got all this information flooding back into us, but it's hard for us to believe it because we've been out of the loop so long.
Hell. King Tut joining the show. King Tut joining the show.
What's up, Tut? And it's not only that we've been out of the loop, but when you get a bunch of people that you've taught to be Christians, and then all of a sudden you teach them to pray, and then let's say you're about to lose your house or a car, something like deep, and then you pray, and then all of a sudden something happens, and you think it's because of the prayer, and then it's like, oh Jesus, thank you Jesus, and then that's where they get us at. When you say thank you Jesus to something that was damn near impossible, that's where they get you.
You did
right there. When you
did
thank
that.
you, Jesus. That was Jesus did that. Jesus, hallelujah. And that's where they go, and that's where they get us at, bro.
All right, let's get Tut up to speed. Tut, we talking about,
doing, man?
Dude, I know you've been listening, but we so deep into relationship that we kind of like say, you know how we do. We go left field with it, and then sometimes we forget what we were talking about. But we really talking about relationships and in the Black community within just general, always. Because I mean, but go ahead, Tut. I ain't got to tell you. You already know where you at. Go for it, man.
Hey, coming
Like
in
that
off the
smile,
tail
cut.
end. Yo, peace, Clay. Hey, coming out the tail end of you. I mean, I agree with you 100%. Cause like, I'm not about to date a woman that's gonna give Jesus praise before she praise me. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
So in a relationship, you in a relationship. Let's say you go through certain things. You in the home. Let's say your lights get cut off, and I go down here and go pay my hard-earned money and pay this light bill and get the lights turned back on, and you turn around and say, "Thank you, Jesus." Yeah, I'm upset.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm upset, you know what I'm saying? And that relationship is not gonna last long. But as far as the relationship in the family, these things should be taught to the children, you know what I mean? So that a mother and a father are demonstrating these values to where the kids can see them and grow up. And so they're not going to be indoctrinated by the world. They're going to be following the leadership of their parents. And when the parents make that solid foundation, then that gives the kids something better to build on instead of creating a belief system of, you know what I'm saying, that's not going to benefit them much. Because, as children, you grow and you learn, and what you learn as a child, it makes your characteristics to who you're going to be as an adult. And you often reflect on your parents' relationship, and then you look at yourself, and so that sort of gauges what kind of person you're going to be in a relationship. But in a relationship, I hold my woman to the utmost highest standard, and I expect her to do the same for me. So in a relationship, it should be that mutual respect, that where, I'm God, she's my goddess, or however you want to label it, she's my earth, I'm her God, whatever, I'm the sun, whatever, however you want to label it, but it should be a companionship of a 50-50 basis, and in the relationship, I think communication is a must. Communication is when you have a partner that you can talk and speak freely without having the conscience of saying something rude or saying something offensive. When you can speak freely, and this your mate knows you and they can respect what you're saying, and y'all can have that conversation. Y'all got the bond stronger than anybody could ever destroy,
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think with relationship, man, we hadn't learned what a symbiotic relationship is. Where we are equally add into the relationship. We're equally getting from. It's more that we in these parasitic relationships where I'm giving more than that's coming back to me, or vice versa. And so until we can learn that, like you said, that balance of I'm giving mine and she giving hers, and we can be open and honest with each other, open and honest with communication. And like I said, first you have to be open and honest with yourself. If you can't do that with yourself, you could never do it with whoever you're in relationship with. So when you have that balance of truth inside yourself, and then that truth that you can speak, regardless, and you ain't worried about the repercussions of who you are, who you're with, then that is beautiful.
Word, bro.
Yeah,
Now,
and I mean, and even from my studies, I remember reading, the majority of divorces are based on finances.
Mm-hmm.
So financially, economically, relationships can become a burden, because if you're doing more than your counterpart, then you're gonna feel like the pressure is on you, and that may bring some aggression, frustration, So I definitely understand how the majority of relationships or divorces end because of financial problems. And that's one thing we definitely have to understand I mean, we all come from similar backgrounds to where we know two heads are better than one. So therefore, if you're in a relationship, if I ain't got it, I know she got it. She ain't got it, she know I got it. And then when we both got it, we live in heaven. You know what I'm saying? So I think financially is a big part of relationships because that brings a lot of problems into play. A lot of women, I'm not gonna say all women, I'm gonna say a lot of women are materialistic, you know. So women want that security. They want a man who they know can provide for them. You know what I'm saying? But as a man, shit, I want a woman who can help me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no woman that, you know what I'm saying, always depending on me and putting the pressure and responsibility on me all the time. I mean, being in a relationship like that is frustrating. You know, I'm pretty sure we all been in those type of relationships. It's frustrating, you know. And then when you get a woman that's with you, man, it's heaven. You know, she does for you. You know, she buying you this, and you know, you want to be the man, and you want to provide. You know, so I'm a and that takes me to something else here. I'm gonna get a little. I don't want to get too nasty.
Get nasty, Chuck.
but I'm gonna put it in simple terms to where a man has a penis that goes out, so he's a provider. You know what I'm saying, by nature. A woman has a vagina that goes in, so she's a receiver by nature. You know, so by nature we have those natural tendencies, but in reality, you know, we also have to give and take, you know. So in a relationship, I think in that 50-50 balance, you definitely have to be able to give and take as far as the man as the woman, you know. So when you get this unison of a woman who is standing by your side and financially, emotionally, and now notice I didn't say you in front of her or she's behind you or not. When you got a woman by your side, you know what I mean? You got a woman by your side that's ready to walk through fire, walk through hell with you. And yo, you don't find that often.
And that's a good point. That's a strong point because that person is either lifting you up, and as you get lifted up, you coming back to grab them and pick them up too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you were pushing her up, and she's turning around, looking down, and she's grabbing your hand and she's pulling you up too. That means you're building.
Right.
Stagnant, and you same thing in 10 years. I'm sorry, y'all.
You own it, bro. You own it, bro. And that's what it's about.
That's where that energy comes in at. Either you're gonna be a dying star, or you're gonna be a sun that is gonna constantly just radiate and just give out light, give out life, because your energy is giving out life. Either it's, and I'm gonna say I struggle with that because I've been off this week. I literally been really my energy has been like bouncing, like I am like snapping at ignorance, and it's hard to control it when you see something and you be like, I just don't see what I see.
You're a good man, bro. You're a good man to be able to acknowledge what you're acknowledging right now. Go ahead and speak.
But this is what helps me, because what happens is I'm speaking and I'm receiving at the same time. Y'all are speaking and I'm receiving, because whatever I might be dealing with, you're throwing out an answer and I have to be willing to receive it versus me be like, man, I ain't trying to hear what the hell y'all saying. You know what I'm saying? So I take bits in. It's kind of like when a bunch of men come together, like, or how the Bible said, when three or more together.
He is in the midst.
You know what I'm saying? But what happens is the energy is flowing within us that either you're going to lift me up or I'm going to get pushed down. I'm not going to be around a bunch of people that's going to keep putting their foot on my neck. I'm going to be a Russell brother that's going to pick me up. So yes, this picks me up. It's like,
Hey,
and
B.
you know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
because we all deal with something. We all deal with something. And this is therapy for me. But go ahead, Jerome.
No, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to put a pin in what you're saying, and what Tut was saying about this woman or your partner that lifts you up, or you lift them up. See, the reason why it works is because when you understand who you are and you fully understand the truth of who you are, then that means you have no ego. And see, the reason why a lot of relationships break up, whether it be finance, whether it be whatever, it's because of ego. And it's not really the money, it's really the ego. You know, oh, he ain't making that, or she making more than me, or whatever, he ain't giving me enough. It's still ego. It's ego driven. And so that's why finding the truth about yourself and being comfortable with who you are, finding a partner that knows themselves and comfortable with who they are, and you have no ego. You don't mind lifting up. You don't mind she making more. You don't mind these things happening in the relationship because you know who you are and you're good with who you are, and you have balance with who you are. You have balance with the person that you're with. That's what makes a true relationship. Is the balance, not that y'all two are balanced, but the balance that is within you.
Word. And that's the problem that a lot of people, I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like the problem with a lot of people when they get married, it's not because like love and we're companions, like, damn, how much money you making? They fit financially and everything is like financial. So there ain't no like relationship in most marriages. So if something happens, it's like, oh man, I got to go. And that's exactly what happened to me. It's like when you think that somebody loves you and then you hit like a bottom or something, and you think that the person's gonna be like, hey, we're gonna work this out. But some people are like, man, look, you done lost your job and shit, I got to go. And that's the sad thing about relations, that most, I would say 20% of relationships or they're committed. The other 90 or 80% is just like, this is financial. They're looking for somebody to financially compensate them or to make them meet the standard. And that's the thing that's going on in life, man. The marriages ain't about family and us bonding and we are standing before God and we are swearing that we gon' what's that thing says, and when you marry, to death do us part. All these lies, they stand there, sit there before God, and most of the women just happy about the wedding. Oh, I got a big cake and the dress, and they ain't listening to the vows. It's like, this says to death do us part. And most people take that shit like it don't mean nothing. And I'm talking about most
people literally
Christians.
take it serious too, though. Some people.
Yeah, exactly. Some do, bro. Exactly. Some people
I'm
are
talking about
listening to what
they take it literally too serious.
Oh, too serious. Exactly. Some men
do it again.
That cake anime. That cake.
Real talk, man.
But to be real with you, go ahead, Tut. Because I know you have. I know you give me
I'll be out there, so I ain't gonna get too nasty with this one. But me and my girlfriend, we were speaking about this, and sex in a relationship. Now you're gonna get to the nitty gritty. Me growing up, women I dated growing up, I would always tell women a relationship is 90% to me it's about sex. And I was younger, and I was, I may have been a little off. At that time. Yeah. But in a relationship, I just diminished it a little. I would say 80 now. But the majority of a relationship, you're not happy in a relationship if you're not satisfied sexually.
That is true. Talk.
That's real talk. Because
from a male's point of view.
Real talk.
From a female is not. If she's not satisfied sexually, it's not a happy relationship. You know what I'm saying? If she's not satisfied when she is satisfied sexually, you'll see the love come from her. You'll see her emotion. You'll see her giving heart, you know. But when she's not satisfied sexually, you're going to see frustration. You're going to see her wanting to step out. You're going to see her looking for interest in other men. And even men, if we're not satisfied sexually, we're going to want to go out. We're going to be, you know what I'm saying, wanting to grab this butt, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in the relationship, I think it's very important that you're satisfied sexually. And if you're not satisfied sexually, that relationship is not going to go very far. Now to solve it, now that may be a different story. Now I don't know how, you know, two people can solve that other than communicating and telling each other, you know, what your likes, what your dislikes are, you know, things of that nature. But to sum it up, you've got to be satisfied sexually in a relationship. And if you're not satisfied sexually, that relationship is inevitably going to fall.
100. I believe that 100%. And even if it doesn't, again, there are some people that are taught to stick in relationships no matter what, but that's very rare. But what you're talking about, Tut, is key in a relationship. And this whole thing about these girls that don't have sex before they're married, or we're not going to have sex until we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Now I'm finna get deep, and it's going to be embarrassing. There's some women that don't know how to take care of themselves, and they smell bad, and they smell bad. Yeah, and I'm serious, and that just mess up everything, bro. It goes that deep.
Oh my God.
Hey, but that's real talk. Hey, that's real talk, though. Hey, you drop down to some snappy, nappy dugout and it stank. You know, and that's one of my things. That's one of my things. Like when I was younger, excuse my French. You know, I don't give a shit, but you know, for the viewers, excuse my French. But growing up, you know, I would always say there's no such thing as bad pussy. You know, like all pussy was good, you know, but what made a pussy bad was the stench. Mm-hmm. So if you have sex and this one, okay, there's a natural sex smell. I remember, you know, some women have a pheromone, you know, in that sex, you know, you get used, you love that smell, but there's a pleasing smell and there's a displeasing smell. Now, mind you, y'all guys, you got to keep your nuts clean too, because you can't be giving up no dirty balls, you know, and expect this woman still to smell good, you know. So you got some dirty balls, you know, you can make her stink. But but you know, you don't want to jump off in no water hole and it smell like sewage. You know, that's an automatic turn off. You know, one time, I don't even think it should be one time, because a respectable woman, she's gonna shower and clean herself because she don't want that stigmata of having a stinking poo-poo. You know what I'm saying? So a respectable woman, she gonna clean herself before y'all have sex. You know, you on the way over, whatever, she in the shower. You know what I mean? So you have sex with a woman and there's a foul, displeasing smell, either she got a disease or she nasty. But either way, she's nasty.
Yeah, it's deep, bro.
And a lot of guys, King Tut.
And a lot of guys hide that. I didn't know how to tell. The first time that ever happened to me, I was in college, and we were sitting by each other. You can tell when you want to get close to somebody, and I'm just like, and then you know, I'm with my, I'm familiar with my ex-girlfriend. I'm familiar with her and how it goes. And I'm with her, and and even before the whole sex thing started, I'm like, got this aroma. I'm like, what the hell is that smell? I've never smelled it before. And she was a beautiful girl. And then all of a sudden we did. I'm just like, damn, that was her this whole time. And it was just a turnoff. And again, I am not saying that, well, shit, I am. It is something bad. I mean, for me, some guys may like
brother, say it, brother.
Yeah, hey, some guys just may like it, but I'm just like, damn. And they don't know how to say, damn, you need to know how to take care of yourself, or I don't like that smell, or they don't know how to communicate like that. And so what does the guy do? Subconsciously, he may go out and cheat, or he may do something to to make the relationship break up, or he may just be a man enough to say, hey, this ain't gonna work, and just say it. But there's just so many things that can make a relationship go sour. But the whole point to what we were talking about is that when you make sure that you're loving yourself like you want somebody else to love you, you're going to attract that kind of person to you. You're not going, a lot of us look for people to give us what we're missing in our life. Oh, damn, I need somebody just to love me or just hug me or tell me I'm just a good person. And we're looking for certain things in other people. And when you're doing shit like that, the majority of the time, the relationship may not work. But if you love yourself, like what you're looking for, man, whatever you find, you're going to know. Whatever you attract, you're going to know. Even the shit that you attract that you know that that's not right for me, you're going to know it. And then you're going to know that, damn, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. She kind of feel how I feel about myself.
Yeah.
And that's what relationships, I feel like from my experience, is what relationships are all about. You love yourself first, and then you're going to get what it is that you need or what you deserve, that same type of love. Right. And again, I'm not saying that if you don't do that, relationships aren't going to work out. But if you want a relationship to really work out, especially to the young ones, you learn to love yourself first, man. You hold your head up about who you are. You feel proud about yourself. And then you watch the kind of things that are attracted to you. And then you're going to know, there you go. You feel about me how I feel about myself, and I feel about you how I feel about myself. And I'm going to treat you how I want to treat myself. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. Everything y'all keep touching. Communication. Talk.
Word.
What we use. Yeah. Talk about everything else. But when it comes to that feelings, a lot of people want to hold back. And a lot of people also understand if you've been through some trauma, or you've been through a bad relationship, or you've been through something, a divorce, a long relationship that broke up, that's where you have to take time for yourself and find who you are. You have to get to being you. If you jump right back into something, you're going to carry that same airline baggage from one plane to another plane. And
building the same house.
To go home, clean up your house, wash, you know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of mistakes that we do. We try to find somebody to replace it, or replace that person that you just lost, versus finding out who you are within yourself. And that's something, and I tell you, I go to therapy. And not a problem with it, because it's some things that about you just don't know, or it might be some broken things in you that you need to get fixed before you jump into something else. So sometimes you need to take a time out. It might be a year, 2 years, who knows? That's that me time. That's when you search to find out who you are. Get back to loving you. Because if you don't love you,
B,
we done.
I hate that. I don't want to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I've been through the whole therapy thing, and I just want to say, bro, that when you are sincere about that, it is absolutely just beautiful. And just be prepared to be how you are now. Just looking at things and admitting what my thoughts are and trying to improve myself and not taking anything personal. And also, it depends on who the therapist is too, but therapy is a beautiful thing, especially when you go into it. This is what I wanted to say. When you go into it without any blame, because things are going to come up in therapy, because a lot of trauma that we go through, our mind has a way of like blocking it out, so we don't think about it. And I'm at the point now in my life where I've done enough soul searching that there is nothing in my life, B, that can come up that's going to make me feel embarrassed. I'll be like, oh, shit, I don't want to think about that. And I've been through sexual, mental, and physical abuse. So anything that comes up in my mind, if I forgot about it, the first thing that I do now, if it comes up, I'm like, oh, shit. Now, it may sting me for a second, but then I'm like, oh, shit, let me remember about that. Because there's something in it that made me think that I was shy, insecure, no good, And when I point out those moments, that's when I can be like, damn, that's when I thought I was shy right there. Or that's when I thought I was no good right there. So that's the beautiful thing for me about looking back. But it's scary for most people to do the kind of work that I'm talking about, because you have to be prepared for it. So when you're in therapy, you have to go in there with an open mind, like, I don't have no blame for my mama, my daddy, my grandmama, my brothers, because everything that they went through and done to me, it was done to them. When you start seeing the big chain, that's when you be like, oh shit, I want to see where all this shit start so I can break my damn link. It ain't nobody's fault. I take that. It ain't nobody's fault. There is a blame for what we are, but it's our responsibility when we get to a certain age to not blame anymore and see where the blame came from. It's like, okay, mama, you are responsible for me feeling like this, or daddy, but I ain't blaming you for it anymore. Not blaming and just like, oh, poor me. It's like, no, there's always a blame, or there's always a reason. Now it's time for me to see it, but not hold on to the blame and think that my mama's a bitch or my daddy's like this mean person and my brother's like, no. Let me look at what they went through in their life. And then when you start seeing the picture like that, and that's what happened to me in therapy, man, it was scary as hell. And that's where my football career went downhill. The first time that I went and spoke to the team psychiatrist. Every football team has a psychiatrist. And so when you get suspended or you get into the NFL's drug program, the first thing you have to do is get them 3 UAs a month, and you have to talk to a team psychiatrist. I went and spoke to the team psychiatrist, and the first thing that he asked me when I sat down, he said, okay, have you ever been physically, sexually, or mentally abused? And I said, yeah. And then he said, well, tell me about it. And dude, it was like Pandora's box open. I was like, God damn. I was like, ain't nobody never really asked me. And I was like, whoop, all this shit. And so make a long story short, when I walked out of that office, bro, I said, what the hell am I doing in Dallas? That's exactly what came to my mind. I said, what the hell am I doing in Dallas? It's like this motherfucker woke me up, and I was just like, oh shit. I didn't like who I was. I hated my mama, my daddy. I hated everybody, bro.
You wanted to say you wanted to be in Philly. I understand your pain being in Dallas.
Hey, that is not what he said.
I'm thinking the same thing. Hey,
that is not what he said.
He walked out of there and was like, why is Jerry Jones signing my checks?
That is not what he said.
That's what you really were saying to yourself.
Yeah.
I know. Go ahead and admit it.
It was something like that, B. But that's when I look back at my timeline, because that's what I've been doing lately, is just like looking back at my timeline and putting shit together. I see, because when I got to professional football, I honestly thought something was like, boom, going to happen, and I was like going to be a different person. And it's just like, and I was walking out of the mall one day. I had a bunch of bags in my hand, and this is when this shit hit me. I was just like, damn, still the same person. I just got money now. I'm like, that ain't good. Because all money do is intensifies who you are. If you like to gamble, you're going to gamble more. If you like sex, you're going to have sex more. Whatever the case is, when you get more money, it's going to intensify that. So my thing is to the young people, don't think about getting the money first, because that ain't going to do it. You get your mind right first, so when you get the money, you know how to handle it, because money is going to intensify who you are. So when I walked out of the mall that day, I had that epiphany. And then when I was talking to the therapist, I had this epiphany because
you go to Philadelphia.
Yeah, again, I was looking for something. Life-changing, because, and I think I've mentioned this to you guys before, at the age of 12, when I hit my first baseball, that is when I was enlightened. I'm talking about I was moved, bro. I changed in a moment. I went from not being able to hit a baseball to I was double dribbling and all. I went from all of that to I hit a baseball and my life changed. So I thought that if I won the state championship in high school, which I didn't, if I won the national championship in college, which I didn't, I came close, if I ever win these championships, then whoa, I'm gonna have this moment where I'm just gonna be like, ah. And then it happened. We're coming back from LA from the first Super Bowl, bro, and we ride on the plane. And I think I was probably one of the first ones that fell asleep. And then when I woke up, I realized that everybody was asleep. And I woke up and I was just like, damn. I said, is that it, man? I said, shit. I'm still the same person.
I got a question for you, Mr. Clayton Holmes.
Yeah.
Talking about the Super Bowl, right? I know this is going a little bit off topic. You felt that way because them Super Bowl rings don't really mean shit right now. That's what you was really trying to say. You was predicting the future because that was the last time that was going to make it there. I just feel like that's the last time y'all was going to win a playoff game. That was the I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just sharing the way I'm feeling. I'm just sharing.
But it wasn't 70 years till we won one.
Hey yo, I ain't even gonna talk about my. I ain't gonna talk about my Cardinals. I ain't gonna talk about my Cardinals right now. I'm gonna wait till we win the Super Bowl. Then I'm gonna talk trash.
Hey, but you've been there though.
There you go. There you go, bro. That's it. And that's what I'm saying, bro. This whole thing has just been. This has been a magical journey for me. And then the question came up like a week ago. I heard somebody say it, or I heard somebody say, what did you want to be when you was little? And like everybody had a dream of like being a policeman or something. And I was just like, damn, you know what? I ain't never really had nothing that I really like wanted to like be. And people think it was, I had a dream of being a professional. I ain't had no dream of being no damn professional football player. All of a sudden, somebody was telling me, hey man, you about to get drafted. I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? I was just playing football to the best of my ability. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, this dude want to talk to you. He's an agent. I'm like, oh, okay. And next thing you tell me, hey, you might be drafted in the second or third round. And I'm still like, oh, okay. And all of a sudden, hey, man, you got drafted. You just a contract for $1.3 million. You got $250,000 up front. And I'm like, what? I'm like, damn. I ain't had no bank account. I ain't know nothing about a bank account. I ain't know nothing about paying no bills. None of that shit, man. I came straight from the bottom. And all of a sudden, boop, I was like at the top. And I'm like, wow, what the fuck is going on? And then when I did, I finally started dabbling in cannabis, and that was a beautiful experience for me. But once I finally got suspended, and I had to talk to the therapist, and he asked me that question. That's when I realized, like, damn, dude, you've been running from who the hell who you were this whole time. I've been running from my whole life. That's what sports did for me. It kept me away from all the terrible shit that I've been through. And then once I reached the pinnacle, like, damn, I don't want a Super Bowl. I'm like, shit, I can't go no higher than that. Like, I mean, higher than like a starter or a Pro Bowl. But my point is, I've reached a place that I thought was going to give me like this ultimate peace. And then once I realized that shit that happened, I was just like, damn, I'm still the same dude. And then when he brought up my past, that shit just made him worse. And but I would not have anything different than how it just happened because I'm at peace with my past now. I understand my behaviors. I understand all of it. So this is just a huge process for me. Football was like a stepping stone. It wasn't a dream. It wasn't what I was supposed to be doing, but it has given me the microphone. It has given me the microphone now to talk about things that we're talking about now, to help people learn to love themselves and respect themselves, because that has been my whole journey. I played football because I was trying to fit in. This is my way of being cool. Even though I'm talking about cool, I wasn't one of the ones in high school and college to hang out with the people that party. But when I turned pro, that's when I turned pro.
Especially in Dallas.
Yeah.
Especially in Dallas.
When I turned pro, it was like, whoa. It was a whole different thing, bro. So I understand everything that I've been through, man. And my journey here is to help the next NFL player extend their career longer, save their money. NBA, all of them, all of us professional people that make it from the bottom and all of a sudden get to the top. We got to realize that We want to do all the things that we thought we missed. We want to spend money. We want the biggest house. We want the biggest car. And we don't know nothing about saving. Like, damn, you 21 right now. What's going to happen when you're 51? Like I'm finna be Sunday. Now, if I would have been thinking like that, I would have been sitting here like, what up?
Happy
But
birthday. Man. Hey, can you do this one thing for me, though? Can you go back to Dallas and ask them how can they win a one playoff win?
Hey, that's going to come to an end. That's about to come to an end.
Hey, but
that's why Jerome ain't saying nothing. He quiet.
Yeah.
hey, but look,
Your quarterback doesn't have any.
I want to double back. I want to double back on something Clayton
ahead.
said. I want to double back on something he said that was very. It's an intricate part to building up your own self-efficacy or building up your own image of yourself. There's one thing he said that was very important. When you can't expect to be in a relationship and you ain't fixed yourself yet. You know what I mean? You haven't looked within yourself. You haven't did that Michael Jackson and took that look at the man in the mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's dangerous.
Yeah. So in a relationship, often when someone does not do that, and as Clayton was speaking about the blame, often if you have not done that, then you often look to blame your partner. And that can cause confusion in that relationship because you haven't looked at being able to accept who you are and what made you. And so everything that happens, you look to blame the other person or blame someone else, and it causes confusion. Like even my girlfriend, she gets on to me. I tell her that I smoke for other people, and she tells me it's a coping mechanism. I'm like, well, if I didn't smoke, it'd be a lot of dead motherfuckers in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but she makes me look at it.
That's your kryptonite.
Say what, B?
That's your kryptonite to stay you from being a damn villain.
Right,
That's natural medicine.
So,
that's natural medicine, man.
Right. Because if I don't smoke, you know what I'm saying, somebody's about to get fucked up. I can't control the shit. Hey, but she made me think about something. She'd be like, that's your coping mechanism. That's what you do to cope. I'm like, well, it's not only for me, it's for other people. But I often, it makes me look at, myself, and some of the things that I had, like I grew up with anger issues, like my dad died when I was 10. I was mad at the fucking world for years. You know what I'm saying? And it caused me to be a certain way. And I had to catch myself in a relationship not to give people anger. Somebody didn't even deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Here I am flipping tables and shit, So I think it's definitely a vital part for you to gauge yourself and know yourself in a relationship. And also having a communication like you were saying earlier, having someone to pull you up, and in that communication, when you have someone that can see who you really are, and then they can help to bring you up to where you're supposed to be, So I think that's a vital part, of looking within yourself and saying, hey, these are my pitfalls. These are my setbacks. This is what has made me. This is what you got now in this package, So let's move on from there.
That's what's up.
Go ahead, Jerome. Getting kind of quiet there.
Nah, I'll let these brothers put that energy out there. It's real good. But I mean, there's nothing more that we can say. What I can say than what they're saying. About being true to yourself. Having a good relationship with yourself is so vital. That man in the mirror, as Tut said, looking at that man, loving that man, trusting that man, and being honest with that man. That's, if you can do those things to start with, if as Clayton says, as when you're young, as a child, you can be taught these qualities. I mean, that right there would be so tremendous by the time it's time for you to be in a relationship. You would have a lasting relationship because of that, I think, but it's always about yourself, not just how you see yourself, but actually when you do see yourself, loving yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I
It's
agree
life,
1,000.
It's life,
What's up, B?
life, bro.
What else can we say? I mean, we only from a male's point of view. Again, y'all, we would love to have women on to share their experience. Probably half the stuff we say, they probably would have shot it down with an AK. But again, we come from a male point of view. Understand that, you know. But one thing you did say, Jerome, that is very important is the ego part of this whole thing about, and that's and you know, touching back on what everybody's been saying is, you have to love yourself. Period. If you don't love that person in the mirror, seek help.
Right,
To be honest, with you. Seek help.
right.
I would love to have a real
And
queen.
say, I love you because you scared what's going to come back. Because it might say
Hey.
I love you back, but at the same time, you be like, wait a minute, who said that?
Yep.
Sometimes it's
Bro,
that instant, but it ain't a horror film. It is reality. Sometimes we just have to understand the dynamics of this paradigm that we in.
I'm like you, B. I wish there was a real queen, a couple of real queens that could really see where we're coming from in this conversation and not think that this is anything egoic or anything like that. And just, and I feel that they out there too, B, that can really feel where we're coming from, because you, me, Tut, none of us have really said anything like wrong. We're just keeping this real. And I'm trying to help men and women just understand why they're doing what they're doing. This is natural.
Right.
You're trying to fight something natural. You wasn't taught to be like I grew up, man. And again, bro, I just love keeping it real. I can't think of a single man in my neighborhood that was just like faithful. I thought all men cheated until I got to Dallas. And I met a guy named Robert Jones and Bill Bates. And you couldn't shit them to go to the titty bar with us or anything like that. He was like, man, my wife at home, bro. Anything that y'all can get at the titty bar, I can get that from home. And I ain't understand what the hell he was talking about until after all this shit was over. He had a wife that he could be open with. You know what he told me? I'm not going to tell you which one, but he told me sometimes that him and his wife would like go out to clubs and act like they didn't know each other. He like walk up to her, be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah,
they just do shit like that.
Yeah,
I'm just like, damn, dude, that's some cool shit. But everybody's trying to hide their freakiness. And they look for it in other places. So, yeah, bro, this shit is real to me, man. We ain't keeping it real with each other, bro.
Right. And as you say that, as you say that though, Clayton, I remember growing up. Like I say, my father died when I was 10, but before I was 10, watching him and my mom, I never, I didn't know nothing about cheating. I thought, hey, one man, one woman, this is a relationship. I seen my father be the best father, raise his kids and stuff. So growing up, the world taught me how to be devious and cheat, because this is what I was seeing. I was seeing other guys cut other girls, you know what I'm saying? And then going through relationships and being immature. I wanted to get back at this girl and show her I can go fuck somebody else or, something like that,
Yeah,
growing up and maturing. And I came to the realization, like you say, all that other stuff, I got the one I want at home, you know what I mean? And that's what brings me happiness, So all of those lustful inclinations, they began to dwindle once I got older.
That's what's up, Tut. That's life, bro. And that's life, Tut. And that's what we need to teach to the young ones, man.
That's growth.
Right there. Yeah.
All right. Well, since Tut doing his thing that that 9 to 5. Well, hey, I don't know what time you getting off tonight.
5 in the morning. Where your kids at? 5 in the morning.
Get your last word. We're gonna have to wrap this up. But go ahead, Tut. Get your last words in.
Hey, yo, man. I just want to say peace and love to everybody, man, and love yourself first and foremost. Like a lot of people say, put God first. Well, recognize who you are. You know what I'm saying? And if you putting God first, that's you. You know what I mean? Put yourself first And then once you love yourself, man, then you can spread that love to the world.
Oh shit.
Jeez, I like that. I like that. Go ahead, Mr. Clayton.
I can't follow that, man. I just want to say thank you for having me, and this has just been real, bro. So I appreciate that. I
No
appreciate
doubt.
that.
Likewise.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all being on, man. Hey, again, this is therapy for me. It helps me. Just even being able to talk. Sometimes I have to hear my inner self talk, and I have to turn around and reciprocate with my own things that come out of my mouth, understanding that the true me is me. The true God in me is me. And again, has taught me to say, know thyself.
Word, bro.
Learn that self and understand that self. So, like again, I love this three-headed monster podcast that we do, man. I mean, we live. Like I said, I wish we had some queens to be on. That probably, probably be sitting there like, Eventually, we gonna
Hey,
get.
because they're gonna give us the flack, even though we might be right, we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So go ahead, Jerome, sign us off, man. Go ahead and get your last word out, man.
All right, man. Like I said, it's always great to have brothers on vibing and getting all this good energy out. Now, I can't put a percentage on how many relationships have broken up because of lack of good feminine hygiene. So, so I won't even get into that. But
Yeah, I'll tell you that. It's out there.
I know, right? But
Hey, that's real.
but it's always good to be on with y'all brothers, man. Knowing yourself, man. When you finally find out who you are, you'll find out that your inner me was your greatest enemy. So and once you start to deal with yourself and as Clayton says, all those things from the past, face them and understand them and move forward, you'll find the relationships will become better. Once again, man, it's always good with Three-Headed Monster. Clayton, Sunday, happy birthday, man.
Happy born day to you, Almighty.
Hey, appreciate that.
Happy
51.
birthday.
51. I can't. They're coming too fast now. They seem like they came like every 2 years when I was like young. Now they're coming every 6 months.
But again, man,
yeah, but I love it, bro. I love it.
Oh man, great having you on. Great being on with Tut and B. We'll do it again Monday, I guess, right?
We can get it in on Monday.
All right, that's what's up.
So shall it
I
be.
love you. Hey, I love you guys, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
One love, brother.
Yeah, them monster.
Likewise.
Peace.
Hey, that's what's up. Peace.
Peace.